Yo, welcome back to the checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'm back once again with another video. And this little series, I'm about to start a series. This is gonna be a series, and this is gonna be something that I do monthly. And this is talk about my favorite team, the New York Knicks. Now, this series is more targeted towards my Knicks fans. But if you're an NBA fan, you can still check it out. It's really up to you. This is just for me to vent whenever the team sucks and to be proud when the team is playing good. So let's just get straight into it and let's talk about so far how the New York Knicks have been looking. And let's just say so far to start the season, I'm kind of disappointed with the way the team looks. Now, I get record-wise this team looks pretty solid. And if you were a guy that doesn't watch the Knicks, you would think this team is pretty good. There's not a lot of flaws with this team. And they look like a easy playoff team in the Eastern Conference. But, there's a lot of flaws with this team. There's lots of potential as well, which is why I'm kind of disappointed. So let's just start with the problems. And the obvious one right now is defense, which is something usually Tom Thibodeau has for every team he coaches, but not this one. And I can't really say it's his fault because they brought in the acquisitions of Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier into the starting five, replacing Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. And don't get me wrong, these two players are upgrades. But defensively, they are really, really bad. They took a major step backwards when it comes to defense, more specifically in the starting five. And the Knicks are currently one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. And it starts on the perimeter with your guards. More specifically, they allow dribble penetration into the paint almost every possession, which breaks down the defense and allows shooters to be open, which is a big part of why they allow the most open threes in the NBA. It's pretty evident that this is an issue because through 10 games, they've allowed 4 players to have a career night type of game, and all of them being perimeter players with the exception of Miles Turner. And Miles Turner's like a perimeter type of big. He's not really in the paint like that. So you can say even him to an extent. They're currently allowing about 110 points per game, which is ranked 27th in the NBA. If you compare that to last season's team, last season, their opponent points per game was 104 points per game, which was first in all of basketball. So clearly the defense is an issue, and one that might stay if things don't really change, because you cannot sit here and tell me, yeah, Kemba Walker's just going to automatically flip a switch and play defense, or Evan Fournier is going to do the same. It's not happening. Another negative from this team is the inconsistent play from the whole team in general, more specifically Julius Randle, Kemba, and Fournier. Randle, coming off a career year last year, has played decent to start the season, but he's just not playing smart. And I said this on my Twitter, he takes easily the most difficult shots out of everyone in the NBA. He's also a ball stopper when the offense is clicking and flowing, and can sometimes just kill the whole flow of the team with these ISO type of plays and his ISO type of game. He needs to learn how to play off the ball, because if he doesn't, he kind of kills us at times. Is he a good player? Yes. Is he an all-star type of guy? Yes. But, if he wants to be in that superstar category, he needs to learn how to play off the ball. And then we can talk about him being a superstar type of player. Then we have Kemba and Fournier, who are just not putting up good enough numbers for the type of offensive talents that they are. Kemba Walker's averaging about 12 points per game, and Evan Fournier is averaging about 15 points per game. And Fournier averages around 17, 18 a lot of his career. He's been averaging that type of numbers. But 15 points per game and, just not really consistent enough. I just don't really think that is something that I can be happy about. Even though I do think that this issue will change, because Fournier and Kemba are both natural scorers. Now, for the Randle situation, I don't know if that's going to change, because his game, he's been doing this all these years. His game is just not going to magically change in a few months. It's not going to happen like that. So they're just going to have to learn how to play with him. And hopefully he can find the right guys out of double teams and, set defenses that they have for him, because he's not going to move the ball like a LeBron, like a Luka, like any of those guys. It's not going to happen. But, you know, his shooting percentages are down, or were down before the Philly game. They'll probably go up, though, because, you know, with the style of play, the way he scores, it'll probably change for the rest of the season. Now, for the last big issue I'm having, Tom Thibodeau's rotations, and more specifically, his issue with playing young players is pissing me off, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's really getting me tight seeing his rotations. Tibbs has solid young talent on the bench, like Quentin Grimes, who they drafted, you know, Miles McBride, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, all these guys. And this man still continues to give Alec Burks, who's for the majority of these first 10 games been playing horrible, or 11 games, because they just played Philly, like, literally before I recorded this video. But 11 games, and he's probably had 1 or 2 decent games, and every other night he's been horrible. He continues to give him a good chunk of minutes off the bench. Obi Toppin, who's played so well in the limited minutes he plays, but he just gets put on the back burner for Julius Randle, who lots of times throughout the first 11 games of the season hasn't been shooting well. And then, you know, Tibbs got, like I said, the 2021 picks, Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride, on the bench, who don't play not 1 minute, and they are defensive players that can also score. And the Knicks right now, the issue for them is perimeter defense. 2 perimeter players, both play defense at a pretty good level. They don't play. They don't touch the floor at all, which is something that I just don't understand at all. Now, you know, there's lots of negatives with this team, but now let's just talk about a couple positives so far throughout the season, because I'm not going to be negative all video. You know, there is positives about this team, and I have one being RJ Barrett's leap as a player. It's so nice to see. Like, RJ was the number 3 pick in 2019. People continue to hate on him, but he's our top defender, and he's also a guy that can give you 25 or 15 to 25 points on any given night. He's that type of player. He's also made a small jump in his shot creating ability, which is something that I really wanted to see from him. And to be honest, RJ is really this team's best overall or all-around player, in my opinion. He can play make. I mean, if he dribbles a little bit more with his right hand and can finish right, then we're really talking like a star type of guy. He still has that star potential, even if he doesn't get that right hand to its best, you know, to the fullest. But he's really this team's all-around best player. Like, his IQ is not horrible. He takes good shots a majority of the time. He just doesn't have the keys to lead the team yet, because it's still Julius Randle's team. Another good thing so far this season is the offense has been top 3 in the league, scoring about 112 points per game, and also taking more threes than they ever did last season. Sometimes the threes come back to haunt them, but they've been pretty good offensively. And the only issue I have offensively is sometimes the offense gets too stagnant. Like, they'll be flowing, and next thing you know, they revert to this ISO Randle type of situation where Randle is getting like 5 ISO post-ups for like 5 minutes straight, and it just kills the whole flow. But besides that, you know, when Randle plays in the flow of the offense and Tibbs lets the offense just go and doesn't call these same trash plays, the Knicks are a better team for sure. You know, the Knicks have looked pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and complain and be like, this team they suck. They do have issues, and if they don't fix the perimeter defense issues, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot all season long. And I'm talking about they might even float in that play-in area too if they don't fix that defense. But right now the Knicks are 7-4 at the time of this video, and can for sure be better than what they've shown. They just got to lock in on defense, stop the inconsistent play. Because, as we see right now, the Eastern Conference ain't no joke. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Link will be down in the description. This has been a checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.